Hello, 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 Frank. Hello,
Hello.
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 I think everything's working.
Hello.
Is everything working?
Um, oh yes, I think so. Yes, it is. You are not muted.
Huzzah! I did it again. We are back once again this week for another hobby news and stream. Um, we are your hosts once again, TJ and Frank, and for me it's that way, but it's actually that way. Um,
Yeah, I'm over in this corner now. I'm over here now. I'm usually down there, but now I'm over here.
Yes, so that
It's weird for me too.
we can experience the chat in the frame. But either way, hello everybody, welcome back. We are here once again to go over our hobbies, news, rumors, what we have been working on, and things that are upcoming. How are you tonight, Frank?
Very good. I'm very tired. I don't know. My outside of all my hobby stuff, I'm a retail store manager, so getting into um, uh, we're getting into fourth quarter and getting ready for things like Black Friday and Christmas already. So, yay!
Yeah, I could only
I just
imagine.
last week I wasn't in the stream because I was out of town traveling for work. I was at a regional meeting in Philadelphia, which is why I couldn't be here. So sorry for missing last week, but raring and ready to go this week.
It's okay. We had a chill hobby stream where I built some of my Votan, so that
Oh,
was fun.
nice.
Uh,
Did you get a chance to just build them, or you start painting on any of your personal models yet?
no, I was only building, but that's okay because I got the call and the champion built, and I started on a bike. I was just hanging out with a couple people and
Nice.
shooting the breeze, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, so might need to do more of that in the future. Just in general, because I like hobbying with people if possible.
Nice. Uh, I will be upfront though. I am woefully behind in a lot of my 40K news. So, if you see me staring off to the side here, I'm trying to pull up Warcom and see what articles I've missed because it's been a minute since I've had an opportunity to really pay attention to what's going on in the 40K world. I heard how was it, a relatively unknown and kind of sort of underplayed army had a codex release.
Yeah, what was it called?
Uh,
Space Marines. Space Marines came
Oh
out.
yeah, Space
Yeah,
Marines.
nobody
Yeah,
plays Space
yeah, yeah,
Marines.
yeah, yeah. Oh God, they're still around?
I'm surprised they still manufacture models for them.
That's shocking.
Hmm.
Truly shocking. I mean, talk about a dead army.
For real though, people should just switch to orcs because it's Orktober.
I will say this. I just had a fake out here on the website. I was looking at Warcom. I saw this article here. 40 years of gaming box sets or something to that effect. 40 years Warhammer box games through the ages. I got excited because I thought like, oh wait, are they reviewing like all the different like edition release boxes, like Assault on Black Reach or Dark Vengeance. I'm like,
No.
oh, that's an art. They'll come up like, oh, it's Space Fleet, Space Hulk, and Space Crusade. Yeah, no, no, not interested.
Whilst I found it interesting because I would like them to bring back Battlefleet Gothic. Um, yeah, that
I
was
mean,
same reaction.
I think they're gearing up for it. I think they're gearing up for it. Except it's probably going to be something like, um,
Horus
it's probably going to be something
Heresy.
Horus Heresy. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah, because that's what
they
I
had
want.
Aeronautica Imperialis, Legionis
And
Imperialis,
they're gonna
or
fold it
Legion.
into that somehow. It's,
I don't know.
I just want ship battles, and
Gothicus Imperia
I
balance
want
out.
it to be more than just Astartes and Guard versus Traitor Astartes and Guard. Just me. Just yeah. It's just I don't know.
I I don't know. Uh,
I
they
loved
are
have
talking about Battlefleet Gothic in here though. I never played Battlefleet Gothic. The only ship game I ever played was back some years ago. I played X-wing for like a year
mm.
until that game got blown up.
Yeah, it was It was fun. I never grasped it when I was younger, but now I get it more, and like I just want it to come back. And because I want my orc fleets, because orc fleets just rammed into you. Like that was part of their. They had ships that were just to ram.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, sounds about right.
but like they had Tau fleets. They had Eldar, Dark Eldar, Tyranid. Like I just want them to bring it back out. It was such a cool game, and it's an area of battle that is described in the books so much, but yet we can't play it. I mean, they do have the Battlefleet Gothic video game, but like they made Blood Bowl the video game and still re-brought that out. So I don't know.
I it probably has a lot to do with the fact that I think Blood Bowl just ties better in general with their main product lineup. You know, Blood Bowl being effectively still an infantry-based game. If you wanted to be not pedantic.
I get
Anyway, but it's little dudesman. I mean, it might line up well enough with the rest of
I
their
get it. I
model
just
philosophy.
it also wasn't a very. It didn't end up being really a very high selling game, and it didn't have a lot of a big range. But I don't know. It's something I would like them to come back out with, personally. But whatever. Um. Anyway. Yeah. I have had a busy week myself. Once again, I would like them to release Space Marines every month because people just dropping commissions on me, and it's nice. Um, but yeah, I have been working on quite a lot recently. Ooh, sorry, tired. And been running my head off with Phoebe coming. So I officially have the seat in my car.
Mm.
It's feeling
Did you at least invest in one of those combo seats that transforms over the life of the baby?
Oh, I didn't get it. It was
It was a gift.
that was a gift.
Oh,
It's what
gotcha.
baby showers are for.
Yeah, very true, very true.
We got a lot of nice stuff for our baby shower, and I am very appreciative to everyone, especially the people who got us. Some people got us some fairly large gifts. So I was very grateful. We got the crib. We got the like reclining feeding chair in for the nursery. The stroller, which is a very nice one, very nice for hiking and stuff like that. So we are very appreciative and are excited for little Phoebe. We have our whole plan for getting to the hospital, and the bags are packed, and we're just kind of, she's at like 34 weeks now, so we're just kind of in holding pattern. She could come at any point. And the way she's punching and kicking could be any point.
She's going all Eddie Goro in there on her.
Oh yeah, she's not happy. She doesn't like anyone to touch mom. Even the dog. I'm pretty sure the dog got kicked in the face at one point. So
Ooh, that's impressive.
yeah, she was like, "No, my mom." And Russell was like, "What was that?" But yeah, so we are prepared. We know what we're doing. Yeet the dog in the crate. Yeet the cat outside. Yeet Cole down to his grandparents' house, and then floor it to the hospital.
Very cool. I think the only bit of interesting news that I have, and this actually just came about within like the last 24 hours. Jacob, the guy who runs Hobby Goblin team, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're at a lot of major events. They do a lot of stuff now at FLG.
Yeah.
I guess they're doing some community artist spotlights, and I just got asked to be featured in one of their spotlights for next week.
Ooh, very
So,
nice.
yeah, that just all happened today. So for anyone who might be watching this video, the Hobby Goblins crew is a great bunch of guys, especially the owner, leader, organizer, just main cool dude in general. I also think that they're trying to build up their own little YouTube community as well. throw up a link here in our own YouTube chat. So if you're looking for a cool channel to check out that's run by some awesome people, definitely recommend checking out Hobby Goblins. And I am going to be featured in some sort of showcase. I'm going to try and figure out more details on that a little later.
Plug the stream.
I will try my best. I don't know if it's some sort of interview or because I asked them what kind of content they needed from me, and they were just like, send us photos and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. So
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if it's just going to be an article or a post on a Facebook page, or if it is going to be included in some sort of YouTube content. I'm not 100% sure.
Nice. Okay. Well, we will see. We will see. All right. Well, let's move on to things, new stuff and things. For me, I have a few Shatterpoint tidbits here. I believe I showed some of this off last week, but that's okay. I have completed the Grand Inquisitor. For some reason,
Yep.
the very bright light does not like his white head. I did not get the greatest of pictures, but here they are. I do. And again, yes, they came with the heads for the animated and for the live action versions of him. I went with the animated ones as I like them better.
So I know your typical level of painting, and I know it's the light, but I just gotta say this. I feel like with this out of whack saturation, I know it's just the picture. Um, I feel like he's trying to ask me if I want to play a game.
Do you want to play a game? Yeah, no, I know. I for some reason my camera gets all wonky when I try to make specifically the Star Wars ones. I don't know why. It doesn't like this scale apparently. Um, and then we have I did a whole bunch of sisters. Finished up a bunch of sisters here.
Are you nearing the end of that Sisters project yet?
Yes, I have on my desk like 10 sisters left, 5 of which are like done, and then the mortifiers because I just don't want to do them.
I mean, you do want to do them for
I
your
do want
client
to.
who's
I do
paying.
want to do them for my client Paul. I just don't want to do them because I hate them. The models, not Paul. I like Paul. And then we have everyone's favorite character from the Obi-Wan series, Reva, or the third sister. I think she was.
I think she's third sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always want to call her the ninth sister, but that was Sarah Michelle Gellar's character.
Seventh sister.
Seventh sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
7, 9. They're practically the same number.
I think 9 was the one that's in the video game. The big one, the big hulky one.
Oh, Fallen Order
Yeah.
or Fallen Jedi, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, so.
Yeah.
But no, actually, I think this is one of the cooler models out of the Inquisitorial pack. I like the posing on it; looks good.
Yeah.
The hero angle on it is quite nice, actually.
Oh yeah. I just like the joke because everybody was like, "Oh, her character." Bah. I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. Shut up."
I thought our character was fine.
Yeah.
But
People were like
anyway,
that. It ruined the Obi-Wan series though. Sorry. Some of that stuff bothers me. I'm like, the series was fine. It was great. I don't know. I wouldn't. Okay, it wasn't the best thing ever, but everyone's hype was too high for Obi-Wan.
So I know it's very tangential. I'm just gonna say this now. I enjoyed the Obi-Wan series, but I kind of hope that they really won't do it anymore. My biggest problem with the Obi-Wan series, especially when they announced the fact that Obi-Wan and Vader are gonna have a duel in this one, I'm like, we already know how it's gonna end.
Yeah. No, that's
Like,
the problem. That's the problem with those kind of series. I knew that going in. Like I said, everyone's hype was too high. It was never going to be what everybody wanted because what everybody wants is already kind of retconned out of is already not possible due to continuity. Unless they
Right.
were going to retcon the whole series, including the original 3 movies. So, whatever.
But I will say Ahsoka was amazing, though. I really
I
loved
loved it. We can gush about that later.
Ahsoka. Save that maybe for a Star Wars specific miniature night or something.
Yes. We have the fifth brother. This guy once again appeared in live action and in animated. Took the animated head once again. And then this one who I didn't know, which is the fourth sister. Again,
I don't recognize her either.
bad pictures. I think she was in the video game. Because there was a bunch of Inquisitors in that.
Gotcha.
And then I have the Playtime's Over set, where this one is Mr. Samuel L.
Yeah.
I mean, Mace Windu.
Yeah. It's funny because while we were watching Ahsoka, Sarah was asking me like why are lightsabers different colors, and we were talking about kind of how it all started a bit with Samuel L. Jackson just looking at George Lucas going, "I want a purple lightsaber, or I'm not doing it." Okay.
And then we have Commander Pons. Let me move you up here. So everybody, I'll move you around. So we can see Commander Pons here. This was one of the clones. He was in the series a little bit, but you didn't see him very often. But he had a very cool red scheme because he was like the Capitol Police.
Okay.
And then his troopers here, which have the distinctive cone-shaped helmet.
They're very, very reminiscent of
Scout troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I noticed that too. And then that is it for this stuff. But hang on. But wait, there's more that I have been working on. I just want to pull this one of these pictures up real fast. Because this is one of the Horus Heresy models I have been working on for a major client of mine. This is his Terminators.
Very nice. Looks like it's still work in progress.
No, this one is actually done.
Okay.
This is a level 1 paint job.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he is pretty much done. And has already actually been shipped back to the customer because these were test models. But this is what a level 1 paint job would look like for me, if anybody is wondering. And then we got, let me do this here. Boop, and why didn't it pull it up? Hang on, pulling it up. Copy link. Boom. This is the Rhino I also did for him. This one's a level 2. See if I can get another angle here. Give it a little bit more. Because these were super fun. I actually was about to like start painting my own like Imperial Fists because I enjoy painting them so much. And then he was like, "Oh, I want you to do an Imperial Fists army." I was like, "Thank you for saving me."
So as is commonly said very often in the hobby community about how difficult it is to paint yellow, it looks like you've got some very stunning and very nice, bright, vibrant yellows going on there. How did you find the process of painting that much yellow?
Well, first I want to say, it's funny because I actually really enjoy painting yellow. But how I did this, I did it somewhat how I do my squigs. So, because my squigs are yellow, because my orcs are, their color scheme is primary colors, because they're orcs. So, but I did this kind of similar. So I started off, sprayed the whole thing black like I normally do. Then I went in and I pretty much covered it in gray, a darker gray, not hitting the very inside edges, but I did the gray, and then I did
So almost like a 90% zenithal of some sorts.
Yeah.
Like you cover about 90% of the model, except for maybe some very dark recesses or deep recesses.
Pretty much, which all ultimately got covered over anyway. But that's not the point because I spent a lot of time trying to perfect this yellow because again, test model. But this would be my process. And then I did white over the top from the top, and then I hit it with. Again, this was the process, so I probably won't do all of this, but I hit it with a red-orange ink from Liquitex. It's literally red orange. And then all over pretty much, and then I hit it with Aerial Yellow. Over top of that, all with airbrush, thinning it down a little bit to make it, so you could see through it a little bit, so I could, what's that word? Filter it a little bit. But there were more layers of yellow on this than I cared to mention because I was trying to get the yellow perfect for what he wanted. So I have it narrowed down now. I know the process, but that's pretty much what it is. And yeah, it came out pretty damn good.
So you started from like a dual undercoat. You undercoated black, then add an extra layer of gray on there just to increase the value. So you didn't have to probably do like 40 layers just to get a decent yellow.
No, I didn't. Right.
And then you built up from a red orange to your yellow.
Yeah, more or less, yes. When I go to do more vehicles, will there be less layers? Yes, because I figured out what I need to do now. Again, it's test model. But but yes, I got it a lot more on the Aerial Yellow and maybe mixing a hair of the orange in to get this. Because I was always also trying to match it up with the Terminator I did, which Terminator was a little easier because brushing on a Terminator, even with yellow, will look better than brushing on a tank because the big flat surfaces. You'll be able to see the brush strokes a lot easier on that as compared to this. So I tried to limit my brush strokes on the tank because, again, big flat areas, yellow is notoriously bad with brush strokes. So, yeah. And then I went through and I gave everything, all of the yellow, a line highlight of everyone's favorite ice yellow. Because ice yellow is the way to go.
Yeah. On that, it practically looks like a white, so excellent.
Yes. No, and then I'd hit a gray line highlight on everything that's black because he wanted a lot of black in there, which I went through and I made sure that I got a lot of points of interest with the black. Which that is just, and I need to get more, actually, Army Painter matte black. I don't recommend Army Painter most of the time, at least from what I have tried, it has been terrible, but the matte black I like.
Very nice.
And yeah, so it all came out like that. And then the treads are literally just metal color steel with a wash of Agrax Earthshade because they didn't really need that much. They're supposed to look dirty.
I apologize here for fiddling with my camera. Sorry.
It's fine. And then if you look, you can see these in a lot of the pictures. These little bits on the top of the tank are painted as like little viewing ports, little windows. So I painted them as little windows. Same thing with on the back. This little blip right here, I painted as like a little window, little viewport.
Cool. I like the choice of blue as a spot color on this.
Yeah, I like that too. I didn't want to do like a whole bunch of red. I figured the model itself was warm enough with the yellows. So, and then the spot color on this guy is the green because he wanted the green power weapons. So hopefully I'll be getting a lot more of this because I thoroughly enjoy painting this.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck and hope you do get more.
Yes. So what we're going to do now, I have one other thing I have done. Let me see. Can I get this to do the thing I want to do? Yes. Okay, cool. It's my kind of, excuse the messy desk. The other things I have been working on are these Blood Angels. They are Blood Angel Hellblasters. And these are for Dom out in Fabricator's Forge. These are his own personal models, and I just wanted to show these off as I'm still working on a bunch. But I have the first 5 are pretty much done.
I just recently saw Dom put up a post about some Blood Angels that got done. Were those models that you painted for him?
No, I think he actually did those.
Oh, okay.
I also have a storm speeder over here for him as well. I don't remember which one this is. But yes.
Painting the inside of the of that cockpit's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait to just paint black. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I wanted to click on you and bring you back up to the top here, the tippy top. There we go. All right. Well, that is pretty much it for what I have been doing. Let us take a look at some news. First of all, we have the rumor engine for this week. It's definitely looking like some sort of orc spear.
For just a moment there, just a moment, I thought you were actually going to say something that wasn't work.
Nope, it is. I mean, it's clearly like a chaos spear, but
Yeah, say that looks like there's an octet in there.
yeah. Um, I don't know who or what it's for. I don't know if it's for 40K or what, but knowing our luck with this, it's probably something like um, Necromunda or something.
Probably.
Um,
Probably.
but yeah. So what else we got here? Oh, this is looking back at the Warhammer, all the different starter sets.
The box sets or the
Yeah,
starter sets?
starters. So this big front one was Lizardman versus Bretonia. This is fifth edition. This is where I started actually. This is the Island of Blood, which was eighth edition. This was I believe this was sixth edition.
Is
And
this just the artwork for the boxes or the actual reviewing the boxes themselves?
this is like the artwork. I think this is reviewing the artwork.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at that article. Yeah, it's just the 40 years worth of art. Okay.
Dogs of War. Yeah, this is all the artwork. I love the artwork.
Actually, one of the few things that I um, grabbed while I was down at Nova, the Games Workshop booth, is they had this really cool. I wanted to get a new mouse pad because it just wasn't big enough, and I decided I want to get like one of those desk pads that
Yeah, yeah.
just. And they had one there that I thought was really cool. It's just not a collage, but it's all the original like third edition or second or third edition codex covers, um, all on a big desk mat. Yeah, like literally like all those photos right there.
Oh,
The
Frank,
artwork.
I will be right back. You keep talking, okay?
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Gotta run real fast.
Um, okay. So, well, so saying I just got this new desk mat here. Very cool. Get that up at Nova. Um, sorry, caught a little off guard here. I was just right before the stream, we were looking at some of the 40 years worth of stuff that was coming out, and was a little disappointed. I got excited because they had 40 years worth of box game through the ages, and I was excited because I thought it was like, oh, are they going to be reviewing some of the different starter sets from like 40K and stuff, like Assault on Black Reach or Dark Vengeance or something like that. That we saw there was a bunch of the board games they came out with: Space Fleet, Mighty Empires, Gorka Morka. So that was a little disappointing to see that they weren't reviewing the actual original like box or starter sets for 40K and stuff. Um, but let me see. Okay. Well, if anyone's here in the chat, if you guys have any questions or anything that I can we want to talk about, anything interesting that you guys might be working on. And well, we're waiting for TJ to come back. I'll talk about some upcoming projects I have. I know I mentioned this before. Going to be starting on my next Golden Demon project here very soon. Kind of flip-flopping a little bit as to what I want to work on. I really want to work on this Lord Invocatus, but recent buddy of mine and friend of the channel, Tryhard 40K, also known as Kloss. He has been back on painting Tau, and he was recently showing me pictures of his Commander Farsight model that he's been working on. So a big part of me is wanting to pick up that get that Commander Farsight model built. I don't have very much desire to really play Tau that much, but I do love their models and their model range. So excited to potentially work on that model. A lot of great opportunities for the panels and stuff to do some really good blending, some fun blending work, and even some excellent opportunities for some freehanding. Okay, well, unfortunately, I would have some stuff to show and go over, but I don't have control over the stream, so I can't show anything at this time. I was recently, unfortunately, I couldn't make it out to one of my favorite GTs to go to, which was the Battle for Salvation. But a lot of people are that I knew were going there. A couple guys that I know placed very well. I believe Sean Naden recently won the event, and I believe another friend of ours, Sasha Edelkraut, took second place. So congratulations to Sean and Sasha. A bunch of people that I know of as well who are in the hobby scene did great work in terms of participating in the hobby contest that they have at Battle for Salvation. Again, Sean Naden, Sasha Edelkraut also did very well in that. I know Chris Dubuque, aka Jawa Balls from back in the day, won some awards for his painting. So congratulations to all of them. Some really gorgeous artwork that I'd love to show if I had the opportunity to. I see we had potentially a couple more people just join the stream. Sorry that it's just me right now. TJ had to suddenly jump off of camera. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope everything is okay. So I am just more or less just talking right now. So for anyone who might have just jumped in, if you have any questions or any topics you'd like to try and talk about, I am happy to chat. Just checking right now to see if there's any news that I would like to go over in particular. Anyone have any fun projects they're working on, or any potential new armies are taking on? Any new models coming out happen to catch anyone's eye? I never had very much interest in potential in playing Tyranids, but man, I've got to say some of these new models are coming out with are very intriguing. In particular, these Norn models are just oof, and that Death Leaper, fantastic. Um, okay. Let's see. I'm also pretty far behind on a lot of the gaming news in particular right now. Been trying to catch up on a few things here these last couple of days. Uh, just catching up on some detachment rules and stuff like that. They're coming out for the Space Marines. I know that the points just very recently dropped. Saw there's, I guess, a lot of updates across the board. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of context because I haven't really been that involved in the tournament scene the last couple of months. Well, looks like TJ is back.
Sorry, everyone. Had a
Welcome back.
had an issue. Oh,
Everything okay?
feel a little lighter. We're good. All right. What are we talking about? Art and grab some water. Okay. So anyway, what were you saying, Frank?
Um, Not much, unfortunately. I was kind of stunned there for a second
I
and kind of scrambling. So,
sorry. Sometimes stuff just kind of hits, um, and I have to go running. Anyway, um, getting away from that, let's look at the art again. Now, what was the second edition? I still have like several of these from Games Day 2011, where they made this model. I love this model. This Blood Angel here, and then this Dogs of War. I love this. I wish they would bring. I hope they bring that back in Old World. Um, but anyway, moving on. Heresy Thursday. Oh look, Little Land Raiders. That's a heck of an article there. The Mark III. I do like iron armor. I would cut the spikes off, but other than that, off the head.
oh, you don't like that style of single spike helmet?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan. I
It
like this
does. It.
Dark Angel helm with it though, with the wings.
I think I generally agree with you. I'm sure that they're doing it just because it's a nostalgia thing at this point in time because they had helmets that looked like that. But yeah, it is a bit of a weird look. I think I agree with you. I'd rather they didn't have the spike on the helmet.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, if I was gonna use the Mark III, I just cut it off. Um, but because iron armor is like my favorite looking armor,
Hmm.
so like I would want it to be without the spike, but that's just me. Um, have all the different things in here. And then we got the last of their 40-year thing, which is a model. Oh no, it's been released, I believe. From the Cities of Sigmar, the Marshal, the Mounted Marshal, which is a very over-engineered model. Um,
Well, that's the name of the game for them right now. Well,
yeah,
technically, it's not the name of the game. The name of the game is Warhammer, but
true, true. I think that's just the design aesthetic they wanted to go to with a lot of these Cities of Sigmar models, though. So they really like the over-engineered look for them specifically. But then you look at the old Empire models, which is what it's supposed to be based off of. And then they have like at least to 33 all of the models they came out with for it. Looks like 39 was the Screamer Killer. which I had not actually looked at for the thing. So I do love the old one. This thing, I love this thing.
Yeah, that that model is actually it's so tiny.
I know it's so much
It
smaller than you think it is.
yeah, it's slightly larger than like a modern Terminator model.
Dude, I still remember when they came out with the current Carnifex kit, and they were like, "This is the biggest monster kit we've ever come out with." And now you look at the Carnifex kit, and you go, "That thing is supposed to be how strong?"
Yeah, things
Um,
have certainly come a long way.
oh yeah. And this Zoanthrope right here, I love this Zoanthrope. I think Kyle has a couple of these.
That's a
Um,
zoanthrope.
that's the original Zoanthrope.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you can see where they got the inspiration for how the Neurothrope looks
Hmm.
and this head. So that or the Neurotyrant I should say. And this head is the silhouette of it is very
Reminiscent,
much
yeah.
reminiscent of the Neurotyrant now. And this is an old warrior.
Yeah, I do know I have seen the old dorky warriors with the buck teeth.
Kyle's got a bunch of them, and they're the same size as the current warriors, which is hilarious.
Oh, that is funny.
And then this is the old tyrant. And
I would actually love to have one of those old tyrants.
again,
That'd be something that'd be funny and that'd be something fun to paint, I think.
Kyle has it. And at one point, when Games Workshop was like, "Well, you can always use your old models," he was using it in tournaments. It was when the like current look of the High Tyrant was out, but it was in metal.
Hmm.
So it was about the size it is now. It was all metal. So he would use this one because they couldn't tell him no because they were like, "Oh," and this thing was tiny.
I was about to say, I mean, I can't imagine trying to use these models in a modern tournament right now because of how small they are.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, you could use the warriors, and I think you could get away with the Zoanthropes for something. Probably Neurolictors, honestly, if you put them on something to make them taller.
Hmm.
Because girth-wise, it's about right. Um, but yeah, no, not the Tyrant. The Tyrant would have to be like this is just an over-engineered warrior.
I'd say it's roughly the size of a warrior now.
Yup. Speaking of, here we go. And then this Carnifex. I remember this Carnifex. And then the current one, which severely needs a new. Like it still looks good. It's just old. It's just dated. It has a lot of dated look to it.
I don't know. I'm not sure what else they could really do. Well, I shouldn't say that, but like, I think it looks still very. I think it looks very good.
Yeah, no. I agree, but it has a lot of the generic scything talon, generic kind of equipment for it still. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Which could be fixed up. But other than that, and then the other one was Vashtor. I don't care. Oh yes, and now we have Warhammer Day coming. I'm so excited, as is Kyle, because Old World.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are excited for it, and I hope that it's everything that you guys want it to be.
More Old World. Not Conquest. Old World.
Oh, okay.
No, listen, I got a poke.
You
But
can
no,
poke.
I am extremely excited. Like this looks great. I mean, honest. Unfortunately, this is probably resin, but still. Man, I can't wait. I've heard rumors that it's coming out Q1 of next year, which sounds unlikely, but the rumor guy it has been very on point with stuff. So
Well, to me, it would make sense that it would probably be Q1 because I feel um, the um, the Q4 focus is almost certainly going to be on 40K.
mm,
Um, as some of our viewers know, I know you know, every year or Christmas time we run the Fight Before Christmas GT and painting competition. And we were just going through and doing budgeting and for prize support and stuff like that. We got a fair amount of it already figured out, but we're holding off on a big portion of our budget just to wait and see what they're going to be doing for the 40K Christmas boxes.
Right, right, right. Because those are always about to
Those
drop.
are Yeah, those are always excellent deals too. It's like $200 for sometimes up to like 700-800 points worth of models.
Oh yeah, like that's they actually GW actually giving you a deal, like
Yeah, it's an honest deal from them.
for real. So that is we're looking forward to that. Of course, and we will definitely put those on display once they announce those. And then
Yeah, those are gonna be exciting. So
oh, I am excited. I want to see if they have a Votan one personally. Um, and then this was just one because they brought out the rules for the demons for Horus Heresy. But I just popped this up because I like the models, specifically this one.
oh, that is nice.
This one is Kabanda. This one, I believe, actually, this guy fights Sanguinius like twice.
Yes, I think so too. I
He
can't say that
in
I'm too up
fear.
on my.
He fights him in Fear to Tread, and then I believe he fights him on the Vengeful Spirit, like towards the end, like right before he fights Horus. Like he fights a couple
Hmm.
of bloodthirsters on his way to Horus, from what I understand. And
Oh, jeez.
and Kabanda is one of them. He wrecks bloodthirsters. Like it's funny. He just wrecks them. But I also like to bring up this guy because he has a very old bloodthirster reminiscent look to him. Like he looks like the old metal model, like the face does and stuff like that.
It's
Uh,
probably because it's made of resin and they have to cast them in the same way. They have to sculpt them in a certain way to make sure they think the resin is supporting itself when it's built to put together in the model.
oh yeah. No, no, no. But I'm saying he's very reminiscent of the old metal one. The look
Hmm.
of him is very looks very much like the metal one. And he's got if there was a better picture of the weapon, you could see it too. Like it looks like the old whip. It looks like the old axe. Like that's I just like that they. I mean, the newer ones kind of have that aesthetic, but this just looks like they took the old metal one and made it new. And I like that. That's like the design they went with.
It seems like they're really trying to lean on some of their older, more classic 40K art, like especially with the Demon Princes are a great example of that. The Demon Princes that are out now do feel very reminiscent of that old Demon Prince metal model.
Mm-hmm. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Um, or that piece of artwork with the Demon Prince with the holding a giant bolter.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I agree.
So
And I like that. I like that. I like a lot of the design elements they're going with. Recently. So yeah, so that is most of the news from what I could see that was of any real uh um pertinence to us at the moment. Let me see if there was anything else. We are getting a squid, I should say, to go along with crab. Um,
oh, we
and
should go over that Middle Earth doubles tournament report.
yeah, let's see. I don't think we went over this rumor engine. Clear.
Birds. Those are birds.
This is clearly orcs, and those are squigs.
Uh, Crow squigs,
They're flying squigs.
flying squigs. Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
but yeah, I'm gonna say those are birds.
yeah. They are. I'm thinking Flesh Eater Course is coming, and they're gonna redo a whole bunch of it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like, a lot of the previews they've been showing has been hinting very heavily, I think, at some form of undead model range.
oh yeah, definitely. It's some sort of vampires. My bet was on the Flesh Eater Courts, the ghouls.
Yeah, I kind of I'm leaning in that same direction because of well, when they were showing off like the clawed feet um pictures, They definitely felt like they were, undead and ghoulish at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. And lastly, yes, I don't care. All I want is this.
I think it's interesting that they're going back. They're doing the plushie toys again. I think
I'll also
because
take this one. Last year's got recalled.
yeah, it was the same thing. It was a stuffed Nurgling that got recalled because
No, it was a
some
squig.
part of
It was the
was the
squig.
squig.
It was the squig
Oh,
because Kyle was getting it for me, and then they recalled it. I was like, damn it.
yeah, wasn't there like part of it was able to part of it could be fairly easily detached or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So it is. I'm just excited because I want one of these two. Each of these two. All right. Anyway, moving forward, we do have a army to look at tonight. And it is in keeping with the theme of the month. It is Orktober, everybody. It is the best holiday of the year, and it lasts a full month. Orktober. Well, it could be second because there is another holiday that runs for 2 months, and it's pretty great. Wawa Hoagie Fest. But that's over. We're in Orktober, and now we need to look at an Orky army. What do you think, Frank?
I think so. So let's check out these custodies. Wait, what?
Orc Stodies.
Oh, some fun Orc Stoties models. So these images were submitted to me by one of the players from Nova. This was one of his. He spent a fair amount of time working and converting these Orc Stoties, and he definitely went full tilt and trying to make this whole idea work.
And man, some of these look great. I love a lot of these conversions. The fact that he put the power pack things on the backs. It works
I'm
so
just
well.
I do apologize. The gentleman who submitted these photos to me, he submitted them such a long time ago. I gotta just try and see if I can find it. 'Cause I do want to mention the artist's name.
While he is looking at that, yes. All of the yes, and you could use them as orcs or custodies, which is nice.
I'm waiting for my messenger to catch up to me to actually go back through. So these were sent to me shortly after Nova. Oh, I think I found him. Justin Roscoe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, is the artist's name.
Well, if Justin is watching, these are fantastic. I like the Mega Armored War Boss. With the axe. Is that Trajan's axe? I believe that cloak is actually off of Abaddon.
Abaddon. That's
Yeah,
Abaddon's cloak. I'm fairly positive.
that is Abadabadoo's cloak.
Abaddon?
Yes, Abadabadoo. But I do love the overall look of this, and I believe it is also what's it called? Trajan. Some of Trajan's stuff in here.
Yeah, I think that that particular war boss conversion was his counts as Trajan Valoris.
I like it. Here's another.
Um,
Here's some more pictures of it.
so Justin was asking for some general feedback here on this. So why don't we start going through? I'm gonna read the message he sent to me. He's like, "Hey Frank, thanks again for letting me add you to get painting feedback for the cust orcs," he called them. I think Orc Stodies is just a better way to go. That's my first piece of feedback. Okay. He's definitely not asking us to be
critical.
He's definitely asking us to be critical. Doesn't want us to necessarily be polite. So things he mentions, like, what I think I know, he has to get the whole army to the same level. Let's see here. trying to go through. He's talking a bit about his display board.
I do have a picture of that.
Okay, so why don't we let's find well. So he mentioned he brought up his display, but he's just like his exact words were he thought he thinks it's a neat one, but he saw the competition, he knows what he's up against, and he needs to do more. So Justin, when you do get a chance, if you're not listening to this now, if you're listening to it in the future, I would the display board. Um, don't sell yourself too short on it. You definitely had a display board that looks like you did put some work into it.
Yeah.
But when you're going into painting competitions, every little thing is going to get critiqued. So your army definitely outclassed your display board. And you don't want that to necessarily be the case. You don't want your display board to be an afterthought. So if you're going to be looking for advancement in army painting competition moving forward, you want your display board to be at the same level as your army, and you definitely want your narrative to carry over. So with your display board here, for example, you can put any army on this, just as much as you can have your ORKTOBERs or Custorks or whatever you're calling them on this display board. You could easily have Sisters, you could have Space Marines, heck, you can even have Chaos Space Marines on there, and that display board works for all of them. And I think that's fine, generally speaking, for the most part, if you just want to have a generic go-to display board for everything. But for painting competitions, that's definitely going to be an issue, because you're one, at least for me as a judge, and generally speaking, other judges I've spoken to in terms of painting competitions over the years, they like to see narrative in the display. And so far, the narrative I'm seeing is it doesn't gel with the board, and it's just orcs in gold armor running through generic Imperium City.
Pretty much.
So I would honestly really work hard to, if you're gonna have this heavily converted army with a very unique theme and narrative to it, I would really try to sell that. A great way, if you're looking to try seeing how you can try and incorporate theme into your army and kind of have the two mesh together very well, one of the best examples of that is, and you saw his army at Nova this past year, was Mike Fox with his Chaos Guard. So that's a great example of something to look at in terms of how army and board work together.
Agreed.
So I won't get into technical details on your display board itself, because I think you hit the nail on the head already. You know what you're dealing with. Step one is make the board and the army work together. That's the very first and best piece of advice I can offer.
Yes. You can see, like I could see on your bases and stuff, it's very much a city or hive look to it, but you gotta make it match at the very least. It is, the colors are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
To put it bluntly, I guess the colors need to be at least matching to you know what I mean. So but yeah, otherwise I like the look. I like what you're going for here. But that would, yes, you need to make everything match up minimally.
And again, since you're asking for fair, you're asking for direct criticism. If you told me you put a year or two into painting and converting your orc army, I'd believe it. And then if you also told me that you banged out this display board in 2 weekends, I would definitely believe that. So again, when you're putting stuff into a competition, everything is going to be judged, and everything's going to be judged at the same level. We're not going to separate the army from the display board. We're going to judge the whole thing in its entirety.
All right, well, let's move on to some of the models here. First up, which was next, is we have the jet bikes.
What are you snickering at?
I don't know. I just like that it's just a faceplate on his face. It's just ridiculous. I love it. It's just stuck to his face. It's normally you'd be like, ah, that doesn't look. No, it works. It makes sense. The more I look at it, the more ridiculous it is, and the more I love it. All right, that's all.
I like how he did stick some random exhaust pipes on there though too.
Yes.
I do like that. I would like to see the conversion show through a bit more, a little less tacked on and more like if TJ, can you move uh,
Oh
my little
yes.
talking head square down to
That is
the
not.
like bottom rightish?
Yes.
All right, cool. That works. Yeah. So as I'm looking at the image here, you have this exhaust or this tailpipe here, which looks cool. I think it looks great.
Let's put you back here.
Um, I would really like to see that level of conversion also kind of carrying through towards the front of the bike. So, maybe some extra holes and pipes added in on the front, just to try and break up that Imperium silhouette just a little bit, because it's still very much a
So those
these are Dawn Eagle jet bikes, I think they're called. I'm
yes,
sorry, I'm not very.
those exhaust pipes are actually naturally there.
Oh, are they?
Yes. So what I would have said to do is replace it because this is the knob from the Orc Biker kit. I would have said to try to replace it with some of the toppers for the exhausts on the biker kit.
Oh, geez.
Um,
That
and
those exhaust pipes are actually on that model like that.
yup, hang on.
That doesn't feel right. That doesn't seem right to me. Not that I'm trying to be argumentative with you, Mr. Myers. I apologize. Holy crap, they are.
Yeah, let me
All
get the
right.
3D in here. So yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
That is super weird.
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't saying you're being argumentative because it looks like it should be orky, but um, another thing I would say is because I know the biker models are a little old and dated. I know I play orcs. I'm very aware. Find a way to extend these legs. This is where the foot rests for the custodes. This is where the stumpy orc leg is. Just green stuff something. Just put the foot here. Green stuff a leg in. Whatever you got to do.
Or maybe even stick some bits of metal or scrap in there.
Yeah.
I love the idea you have going on here with this. I just like to see a little more orc showing through on the conversion attempts.
Yeah. Deface the eagle. Do like make a cracked hull. Slap more orc runes or armor
Or
plating.
glyphs.
Yeah, and they're bolt on plates that they like to do on a lot of stuff. Like little bits like that go a long way. Now you look like you're making the orcs try to look like custodes, but like the custodes part of it should also try to be looking more like orc.
I think that's the exact description I would go for. Yeah, you're making the orcs look like custodies, but I think the elements should look a bit more orky.
Yes.
Now that being said, I want to say that we're offering this criticism in a vacuum where if you have a particular narrative that you're playing towards, and that's part of what your narrative is, and that's how you want it, hey man, rock on. If you have a story and that's what your narrative is, by all means, stick with your narrative. But if that is your narrative, it's a little bit unclear, to say the least.
As a
But
as an avid orc player, converter, painter, builder, everything orky. These are just my suggestions. It's just to make it look more orc. And heck, you did it on the other guys, so I gotta point it out here. The spear tip. Find something. Find something. Even if you got to make it look like a piece of like sharpened metal, don't use this. Like cut that off. Put get like garden wire and wrap another piece. Put another piece on there and then wrap it up. Or just make this look broken and wrap it with the so it looks like they tied it back together, kind of thing. Like,
or maybe some plastic card to make it look like just a shard of rusted hunky metal.
That something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anything along those lines will orcify it. It's great. Hang on, let me see if I can find what I was talking about. You go.
Because you are entering an army where the conversion is part of your spectacle, so the conversion is going to be heavily judged. So they're going to look at elements like this. So if you're going to go the route of doing a converted army for the spectacle of doing a converted army, I think you do. And you mentioned this here too. His exact words in the message he sent to me was great, but could have been better in regards to his conversions. Take time with plastic putty to really gap fill and make things even more seamless. Yes. And again, you made the orcs look like Custodes. I think you need to make the Custode stuff look more like orc. Just so things feel and flow better.
Heck, you could even now I'm getting ideas for something like this. I would get a flat piece. Like, you ever see the I is elf meme where the orc has like the flat mask that looks like an Eldar helmet on it? I would do that with the Custodes and take the plume on the top and put that as his top knot, the hair squig. Put that coming out of his head, and then have the flat faceplate for the Custodes mask. So I got tons of ideas for this. It's great. But yeah, I would you just take plastic card and cut out little rivets and like slap like an armor plate on the top here, like you were fixing it or something like that to break it up. You just want to break up what looks like to deface the eagle somehow. Like you could break off the head of the eagle and put like a
squig head or something.
A squig head or something like that. Make it look like it's bolted on and then paint it gold. Something like that. You could take the grot from the which one is it? Hang on. I believe it's the Boondocka Snazwagon. The grot
that's like hanging in the back. Oh yeah.
No, that's strapped to the front. Strap it to one of these.
There you go. Or if you can figure out a way to have a grot that's almost like in a plank-like position, like gripping onto the front of the bike.
Oh, they have grots like that somewhere. You
just
could do
like
it.
Holding on for dear life.
Yup. Just little things like that. You just want to anything that is Custodes, you want to make more orky. Anything that is orky, you want to make more Custodes. Let's take a look at the next one. We are not even like really going into paint here. We are just conversions. See, I like how what he did with some of these. I like that the orcs are using the Custodes weapons.
Yeah, actually, I think that one, the model on the left there, would that be an Ardboy or is that? I think
that's a knob.
It's a knob. Okay. The way that you have that orc helmet painted, like the gold painted to match the rest of it works super well. But if you look at the model now, when I say the left, I mean I'm referring to my left, which would obviously be his anyway.
This guy
right here, yeah. I think that looks very, very cool. But the other guy on the right, I think, could possibly use a little more orc. Like he has 2 shoulder pads. I would think that maybe one Custodes shoulder pad and then maybe one pure orky pad or something to that effect. But that's just me being my own personal preference.
I would do something with I wouldn't put the helmets on the face like this. I would cut the plume off and put it on this guy, the original guy we were talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
Put the plume on the top of that guy, and then see if you could maybe shave it down so that you could fit it on the head a little bit. I realize the orc heads are massive, but you gotta
or maybe like if you can you zoom in on that one's face there a little bit?
This guy.
Yeah, that one right there. Like you have maybe go in with a little bit of a Dremel or an X-Acto knife and cut out that central faceplate and just kind of keep that central nose line
And then put that on the top of the head.
and like put it on his forehead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that you still get the bottom jaw.
Right. Because
Oh,
no, knowing what I know about where the orc's eyes are, the orc's eyes are behind where that central jewel is in the
yeah.
helmet.
The orc's eyes are up here,
Yeah.
right? Pretty much in line with where the ears are.
So that it doesn't quite read so well when you just have the faceplate just kind of snapped on there. But you where like you did that in some of the back. Like you literally just scroll up a little bit, TJ, and you can see back here. There's some couple where you can see the lower jaw of some of these orcs.
Yeah,
That feels better.
yeah. This guy and this guy here. Yeah, that feels a lot better.
That feels better. Right, the one that's right here in the front doesn't quite feel so right, and I think it's because there's too much custodies at
I,
that point in time.
I think what you need to do with the helmets is you need to put them on them in such a way that they did whatever they could to fit them on their heads. They did whatever they could to rip whatever parts they needed to rip out, and then just kind of jammed it on. Like that's what an orc would do. So like
Yeah,
they would rip that faceplate off and just jam it on like their helmet. If they're wearing a helmet, they bolt it onto their helmet. If they're not wearing a helmet, they put it on their heads and they tie like a string on it. Like that's kind of what the orcs would do, while the other ones would take the plume off and put it on their heads, like kind of thing.
I absolutely adore that idea that you just mentioned. Um,
Oh, ripping off the faceplate and like
yeah,
tying it.
well, no, well that's cool, but like just taking that top knot off and putting it on like the mega armor
Uh huh. Uh
or
huh.
not mega armor. I don't know what it would be
It's
called,
it's
but the
just
knob armor.
it's just a faceplate, honestly.
Yeah.
The one head has like the face is just reconstructed in metal, the top part of it.
Mhm.
But you also get the big iron gob as it's an accessory, but you could put it on it to make it look like an entirely encased face.
Mhm.
So that's what he did here. The orc knob kit, as old as it is still fantastic. And I still have like one or two unopened boxes because it's just no end of bits. But yeah, this is yeah, you just slap this on one of those. I mean, you don't do it every time, but or this guy that's wearing this helmet, you could put that on there. You could take little bits of the eagles that you have everywhere on custody stuff and just slap it onto the sides of things. I like what you did with the chest armor. Like here, like it's a little low, but that's just because orc heads are in the middle of their chest for some reason a lot of the time. Because older models, but like it looks good that they're trying to slap it on as their heavy armor. And then how he has the things on the legs.
You know what would actually look kind of cool is because the armor wouldn't fit correctly and the orcs were trying to just get it on them however they could. Just if you were to take a venture down to your local thrift store or dollar store and buy cheap, like quote unquote gold necklaces, you can probably do something like where you have that chest plate sitting on the model and then just wrap like one of those cheap chains around it to make it look like they chained it to their bodies,
Oh yeah,
or
you
even
could do that.
or even have it like dangling down a bit.
Yeah, you got to go to no, you got to go to Michael's. You got to get jeweler chain.
Yeah,
It's really thin. It's really cheap still, but it's just it's the right scale.
there you go. Yeah, same deal, but like just chain link jewelry, things like that. I think that would look really cool if you had just to also break up that just that custody stuff just a bit more, because I like looking at right here where you have this jagged piece of metal. If there's like a little bit of chain maybe connecting from that suspender, those are suspenders right there, I believe.
Yes.
Make that suspender belt clip thing connecting to the custodes breastplate there. I think would look very cool and would help sell the story a bit. Like they're trying really hard to get this custodes army on custodes armor onto them.
because orcs always present that unique opportunity to just do wacky things with them.
Hmm.
So I love it. And then we have like this guy here. I believe this is supposed to be the champion guy that does the stances, maybe, or is this a shield captain? This might be a shield captain. Or the guardsmen that have the shields, maybe. I see the cape, so I assume it's somebody special. Um, See, he did it with the helmet here. This is what you want. He even went, oh, I love this. So he took the top knot that's in the old Orc Boy kit, which you can just put on the head, and he
Hmm.
put it on the top here. That's from the Orc kit.
Oh, very nice. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's is that the old? Isn't that the old Assault on Blackreach War Boss top knot?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
This is part of the plastic kit, I believe. But either
okay.
way, like that's great. That's something you want to do right there. You took something that was Custodes and you made it Orky. And then you made something Orky Custodes. Like I love that this the you could see the lower jaw and that he's trying to make it work for him.
Um, well, I think we've talked a lot here about potential conversion opportunities. I think we could wax and wane for
Oh, I
a,
yeah,
quite a
absolutely.
while in terms of
And then I'm gonna
just
start a new orc army. So we're gonna go to painting.
yeah. So in terms of painting, um, this one's a tough one because I think that in terms of you're definitely at a point where you're producing um, you're beyond a battle ready state, very much so.
Yes.
Like I would not consider these to be just at battle ready standard. These would kind of dwell in that area. I would consider to be like a tabletop plus type of deal.
Yeah, I would consider this a level 2 for my stuff.
So what the things that we're going to be talking about here are going to be more like how can you push yourself forward and get better painting scores because you have spectacle. Like you have spectacle in spades in terms of what you're doing. Um, the biggest thing here is you have excellent color contrast, but you don't have we need to work on your definition. Um, you brought this up yourself in terms of your own commentary about how you need to work on your highlights and your shadows. You TJ, can we zoom in a bit on the shoulder pad on the right model showing the cape? Okay, that shoulder pad, for example, that red in there is extremely flat.
Yes.
Um,
And
they're
I can't tell if there's a highlight or if it's the light too.
Yeah. Well, highlighting in general, like I struggled a bit too to tell if there was any type of edge highlighting. Even with true metallic metals, you definitely want to do some edge highlighting. I could see it on the silver, on those exhausts for their power pack, that
Yes.
there's some edge highlighting there. I think though we need to we would need to tone up the again, deepen the shadows, really play up those edge highlights. Even metal areas are going to have those edge highlights. That's an important part. But in this shoulder area here, for example, they're you know um, they're can you move your mouse pointer up just a little bit, TJ? Like right down just a bit more, like in the middle of the shoulder pad with it, right there. If that is your light that's coming down, creating this highlight point where TJ's mouse cursor is, you should have a highlight painted there. You don't have to make it a perfect blend. I would recommend trying to blend it just a little bit, but there should be a circular highlight right here. And with these outer portions of the shoulder pad going in towards the gold, almost like a deep ruddy brown color to create a sense of shadow. And the last step that I would do would be to go in with a little bit of black ink or some panel shading. What's the word? Panel liner.
Yeah, there you go. Panel liner.
little bit of panel liner in there, like just a very thin black line separating the red from the gold, which you can do with an enamel panel liner, very easy and cheap to pick up. Or what I would recommend is oil paint. Mix up a black oil paint wash just to get a little tiny bit of black in there to separate the red from the gold, just a bit more. Um, you have a very illustrative style. Like, you have a good sense of what your highlights, of volumetric highlights, which I can see from the tricep here on the model. You've got a nice blue-green shadow going up to a very warm yellow-green highlight. Your volumetrics seem pretty decent there. Seems fairly accurate from that image I'm seeing, at least from this angle. So again, you do have a good sense of volumetric highlighting. I would like to see that more executed far more consistently across the model. And in terms of consistency, like the overall gold on this Orc's model, on this Orc's armor, seems to be done to a higher standard than, say, the gold laurels on the cloak on the back. Like,
Yes, I will say
this
that.
gold seems nice and neat, and looks like it has time and effort put into it. A little rough on the textures. Honestly, I hate to sound like offer such cliche feedback, but thin your paints a bit more. Whereas this laurel with, well, I'm just going to call it the laurels and the scroll work. This whole cloak feels very rushed.
Now, I will also say that stuff on the cloaks like this, the embroidery and stuff like this, are very, very narrow. They're very shallow. Like, they don't have the deep grooves like a lot of the other stuff does that you get on a lot of the rest of the model. So I understand that being more difficult too. Like, that is a more difficult part to paint gold without getting it all over everything.
Well, one thing that I would suggest is that if it is an area where somebody's having a problem with something like this, since I always recommend basing whatever you're going to be painting gold with a brown first. You could very easily just sloppily paint brown all over that area.
That is very true.
And then as you build your red up around it, the brown is just more or less a very brown is just basically a very dark red that's desaturated with a little bit of green, or a lot of green, depending upon
Brown.
what the orchid. Huh?
What brown? Depending on which brown.
Depending on which brown, yeah, of course. But yeah, so that's effectively what brown is. It's a desaturated red with green in it. So you can blend a brown into a red fairly easily. So, it's just some food for thought if you're having a hard time trying to get that looking good. Is I would just probably literally just sketch out and base the whole area in brown, and then just blend the red out in thin layers from that. To kind of like feather out the red a little bit, and that'll help to hide any potential mistakes that might occur that way.
I agree. And then my only other thing with this guy. Also, I like your orc skin. Your orc skin's very good. It's tough. It's tough especially when you're used to painting normal skin tones, like whether it be dark, light, whatever. Green is different. Good job on those. The red itself, though, it looks like you need, again, the lighting is not helping you here. But it looks like you need to, like Frank said, thin your paints. The red could be smoother. It's very jagged in places, which can happen, but like that could be smoothed out as well. Like we were saying the one time, glazing's the best way to do this for not expert painters, which I don't even consider myself an expert painter. Like, this is you need to a couple of layers of that will, once you have what you want sculpted into the stenciled into where you want it, then doing a
I think the word you're looking for is
sketched in, then doing the oh god, why are words hard tonight? the glazing. Then doing the glazing will just add the effect that you want as you go over it a couple of times, especially if this is a special model.
Yeah, I don't think it also, if you're not comfortable, if you don't, just straight up, if you don't want to go through the glazing process, you could do it with a thicker layering process. You'll just need to mix more colors along the way. If you aren't already working with a wet palette, something that you could do, I would highly recommend working with a wet palette if you want to try and improve your layering. Whereas, on one part of the wet palette, you have your brightest red that you want to highlight up to, maybe even an orange or a pink. Don't be afraid of pink as a highlight color.
Yeah.
Uh, Working and then on one end of the other end of the wet palette, you put your darkest color, maybe even a black, but you have your deepest brown or your deepest red color on one end, and then you just literally just start working the paints towards each other, and you'll end up with some different transitions along the way, and then you can pick out, from that stretch of color, um, where you need to go, and you'll see the transitions that you need to kind of go through to get there. It's a great use of wet palette, and can also help out a lot with people who are beginning to getting into blending and glazing and layering. Like I said, it doesn't even require glazing. You can just do straight layering, and that can really help with your painting your cloaks and stuff.
Agreed. Um, Other than that, I like the purple edition here. Um, I feel like the power weapon. Now they already have dopey big swords, the Custodes, but I feel like I can't see this very well. I'm not sure if this is a silver or if it's a gray. Um, but we could take a look at that at other ones. Let's move on to the next one here. We got this dude, which I like this too. They took the top knot and they just put it on the back panel. It's also a nice way to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It keeps the silhouette it keeps the silhouette of a Custodes. Actually, I think so far, just at a quick glance, I think this is my favorite model out of the batch that we've seen so far.
I'm gonna agree with you. So I think some of this is Uruks from the Age of Sigmar models.
Makes sense. Yeah, I did see some Auric models
Because
in the they're usually yellow ones from Age of
yeah,
Sigmar.
yeah, 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 I know which ones you're talking about.
They have that really roughly beaten or heavily hammered armor.
Iron Jaws, Iron Jaws.
Iron Jaws, yeah, I think I saw some Iron Jaws in there because I saw that really heavy beaten armor in the background of some
I
of his
I
of the
think
photos.
they're a really good base for these models, especially because they stand a little bit more upright and they are like bare chested. They don't have any armor on them to start. Like you put the armor on top of the models a lot of the time where you
Hmm.
want it. So they are an easier way to like starting for this type of conversion. I think going forward, if you make any more of these, start with those. I think it's a good idea. Um, and then you use the knob kit for extra bits and stuff like that. Like I said, the knob kit is old, so it doesn't exactly line up with the all the aesthetics and all the how orcs look now.
Yep. And I just want to point out, I offered that criticism before about how I'd like to see a very dark, like almost black line separating the red from the gold. That shoulder pad has pretty much exactly what I was referring to.
No,
There's
that
really, it's a,
that looks great.
yeah, that looks really good. Um, and again, this kind of hinders back to, I think you need neaten up your dry brushing though quite a bit. It's a lot of texturing there. Are you seeing that as well, TJ?
Yeah, again, this is it's a really bright light directly on the model too, so that might be affecting some of it. But I do see the texturing, yes.
Yeah, I think that's little bits of mica flake that are just showing up underneath that bright light that might not be visible to the eye normally. But yeah, you have this really nice dark line separating the red from the gold, which offers contrast, which offers separation. It increases what's referred to, it's typically called readability in a model. So this model has excellent readability. Um, the face looks a little unfinished, especially the eyes. Again, could be the photo. But generally speaking, I think so far, like unless I see something else that makes me say otherwise, like this would be a little bit closer to what this to me it feels like your best model out of the batch.
I
Uh,
I
I'm
will
I'm holding. Although I reserve the right to change my mind later.
I will say the mica flakes might be due to. Now I used to do this all the time. It depends on how many water mugs are you using. Are you using just one for all of your colors? Because if you are dipping your metallic brush, your brush that was just using metallics, into the cup of water that you use for all of them, the mica flakes will mix in, and
Yeah,
it will cause this effect.
yeah. You
Because
should
it's just
always use two separate water cups for your metallics versus your non-metallic paints.
it's going to mix it in with your brush. It's just going to get it more embedded in the bristles, and then when you go do the red, the green, the not gold or silver, you're going to get the mica flakes in there unintentionally, and it will cause this to happen. I actually have a model here that you can see that happened to. This is go figure, one of Kyle's models. Let me pull up on the model camera real fast. Oh, looks like it froze. Hang on. Oh, no, wrong one. That's why. Co-host model skin. So I'm not sure if you could tell on this guy, but the hood actually has some mica flakes in it. I have to go back and
I can see a little. I can see a
finish it
little bit of
towards
glistening there.
in the dark black. Yes.
Yeah,
So this is an example of it. I need to go back and fix that for him and the arm. But you can see it there. That might be what was happening to his stuff.
makes sense. Yeah.
So just watch out for that. Yeah, you just have two mugs with water in it. One, like the left one is always, for me, the left one is always my metallics, the right one is everything else, and then the one that sits over here is my coffee. Uh
Which still inevitably ends up with paintbrushes inside of it.
yes, on more than one occasion. But everything is non-toxic, so it's fine. Anyway, here we go. Here's more Oryx. Yes, I like this. Um
I like
the
the attempts at trying to add some color into the blooms.
Yes, I
Uh,
like that
I
too.
think yeah, that definitely breaks that up. So this feels good, like especially that giant axe that the one on the front is wielding. It's both. It's orc and it's custodes, and I think that works for the overall feel of this and vibe of it. Like there's a better blending um, of the two armies in these models.
Yeah, yeah, and these are brutes, I believe. Let me find it. Because they get these types of weapons. It's not the Arc Boys, but you can see because they have that curved haft, which isn't in any real orc kits, I don't think. They have more in the Beast Snagger Boys, but this isn't from any of those kits. So these are from the Iron Jaws, which is cool. Um, Other than that, I like the attempt at making the just orc armor gold, like the Custodes. Like they ran out, so they just painted it gold. Um, yeah, no, these are good. I like these. Um, Another view of this guy. Let's go to. Okay, we're gonna go to his. He doesn't have. This is his war boss, his mega armor war boss, which I believe is Trajan, which is why he's on a dinky base. Um, this one's also very good. I think this one would be second favorite out of them.
Yeah, I do like this one quite a bit. Yeah.
I like.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I like the cape. I like that they used Abadabadoo's cape because it's all tattered. And it looks like an orky cape. There's a couple more views here, so you can really see the cape here. Um, and then they just took a bunch of the Trajan bits and put them on there with the axe and everything. So overall, you get the idea through, which is good.
I agree very much so.
Um, and I like that you put the top of his axe on the top of the Uj Choppa, that the war boss is carrying, which is cool too. I like that you put the stuff on his greaves, on his arms, which is nice as well. Lot of good stuff here. Some looks tacked on like this. If we're gonna put the shoulder pads on with this, I would either try to remove part of this armor and replace it, or make it look like it's hanging off of it, like it's stapled onto it somehow, or it's just hanging there as a trophy, kind of thing. Because this part honestly just looks like you just glued it, which did obviously, but it looks like it's just glued on. And maybe make an attempt at this is where I would go, is make an attempt at, because I believe Trajan has a beard, or is that the other guy? I don't remember. Maybe make an attempt at green stuffing like a beard or something on, like he's trying to like really look like him.
A beard squig.
Yes, no, those are a thing. If you ever watch the animation they did for Gazgul, he's got a hair squig and he's got a beard squig.
I have seen that, yes.
So all right, let me look at him. Yes, he does have like a full beard, so maybe like try and sculpt in a little beard there just to make him, he's trying to look like Trajan, even though he clearly murdered him and took all his stuff. You got anything, Frank? Paint?
No. Oh, well, the blood on the axe there, if you are going to be doing an effect like that where you're going to have blood on an axe, I would you want to kind of flick that back a little bit. You want to add some velocity and some motion to that type of effect, because that axe blade's going to be traveling very quickly. So, but generally speaking, I'm seeing a little bit more work on trying the
gold.
I don't want to
really
say
good.
Yeah. But I think it's just more trying to push the basics just a little bit more forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm seeing right now. Like the axe blade has some funky little staining on it that I would potentially try to smooth out, just to try and yeah, I would just try to avoid some staining, which can happen when you're doing an army that's going to have heavy use of metallics and when you're going to be using a lot of washing.
Agreed. You can even, if you don't want to do the flick, you just don't have to do.
I wasn't not necessarily. I don't
Oh no,
like
I'm not.
Flick. I mean, like just.
Making it. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Oh,
like
either.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know what you're saying. So it looks like the blood was splattering. You're going for the blood splatter look.
That's splatter, but like the axe is going to be traveling, so the blood is going to trail towards where the eagle is.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying if you don't want to do it with like the flick method that I see a lot of people do, you can take, what I like to do is I like to take an old brush. This is more so I don't get, blood for the blood god all over my desk. I take an old brush, an old beat up ratty brush that you might have lying around. Maybe something like this guy here. He's kind of past his prime, a little whatever. You take him and you just kind of stipple it onto it with this. And they streak it back a little bit, because the randomness of the old bent bristles will give you some of that effect you want as well. And then we got, this is another picture of these guys. See, we did it here. Yes, perfect.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, this one too. I like that. And more on these. Oh, we got some back panels here. This is nice. I like this. I will say I would like to see if you can't completely cover up, because they have holes in the backs for their back banners on a lot of the knob on a lot of the knobs because that's just how the knob kit is. Because they were all designed to have back banners. I would just slap some green stuff in there to smooth it out. Once green stuff dries, you can file it down like you would any other plastic. Green stuff will harden, and then you can file it like it's plastic. So I would do that, and I would file it down to make it look smooth. You can even hit it with the model scraper or the edge of your X-Acto blade to do it too.
Well, I think we covered everything from his army at this point.
Oh yeah, I could just go on with instructions or suggestions on conversions, but otherwise, I like the army. I like his concept. I think a few of those tips that we have mentioned will help to push this further as well.
I agree.
All right. Well, we have some time left, and it is still October. We can take a look at some of my orcs.
Oh, let's do.
So here, we can't pop these out. All right. Well, here are some. I will just zoom in then. Are some pictures of. I can't make this go away. But I can't. Okay, there we go. Of my orcs. This is my beast boss on Squigosaur. This is one of my favorite models of the current range, and this is my take on him.
Yep, that model, that kit is sitting on my desk now. Is one of the models I want to try and work
on. And as you can see, I do like yellow, and I made my whole army be primary colors. So it is the main colors on all the orcs is red and blue, and then every squig is yellow. To give those squigs a nice pop when you see them, because they're not in everything. So when you do see them, they're there. And this Squigosaur, this mighty big boy, has a lot of it. And he was such a fun kit. These are such fun kits.
I think it's a great kit because of all the you get a lot of fun textures to play with that one. I think that's probably the primary reason why I picked it up, because I wanted to play around with all those different textures.
Oh yeah, and then I had a lot of fun with the base, because
the base looks very cool.
All of mine are street based, so we have street going around, a little pool like sludge here, and then of course, as with a lot of my orcs, Dark Angel bits. There's parts of a Terminator. Here's a head. Here's the power fist. Take that, Kyle. The face, which I did try to go as far as I could. I made him have like the little purple under the eyes, really show the blood flowing in the cheeks here and around the mouth, because as people say, they have red blood. Everything has red blood. So it's the skin, it might be green superficially, but the meat is red. So you can see
that's a weird thing to say on the street.
Yes. But either way, it is, I tried to bring out the pinks where, the skin is thinner, more or less. So the blood would be showing through more. So it would be a reddish color, is what I'm trying to say. So I did that with a lot of the face. I loved doing the mouth on this. I don't know. I had so much fun doing the flesh tones in the crevices and stuff like that, and the wound from this thing over here, and on the mouth and the scars. I think the making it look like he's drooling.
Yep, excellent. One of the few acceptable uses of high gloss varnish on a model.
Oh yeah, if it's not a gem, this is what you use it for. And then we have my Gazgul, which no longer looks like this after I had a car accident this year. But
oh no, did he get destroyed?
So I'm missing this wire now, and this smoke trail broke off, and I couldn't find it. Yeah,
I did not know that happened. Sorry to hear.
That was after Oh yeah, no, I was fine. I was after the Gamers of the Eastern Fringes. What was it? Winter Ruin. I
Yeah,
went
Winter
down
Ruin.
there.
Yeah.
I did the painting. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I was doing the paint judging, and like on my way home, um, guy, I had the right of way. We were both going through a red light, or no, we were both going through a green light. Sorry, he was turning. I was not. I had the right of way, so I kept going, and he hit me, and I was just like, oh, okay. Everybody was fine. Nobody was hurt. It crunched a bit, but all the models that I had brought to display slammed forward a little bit, so he kind of got flung. It's okay, but I might just get a new one.
Eh,
um,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, it was I had a similar incident happen years ago, and one of our teammates likes to bring it up every now and then. We were coming back from a tournament, and he was playing the Harlequins at the time, maybe Drakari. I forget which one it was, but I think it was Harlequins he was playing, and I had to slam the brakes real hard to avoid something, and his entire box of Harlequins on jet bikes with the spindly spears went flying forward in my car.
oh,
For up to a year afterwards, before I sold the car, I was still finding Eldar bits in the carpet.
oh,
Yeah.
man. Ugh. If I am gonna salvage them though, I'm just gonna rip the other one off and just leave it as is and like fix the painting. I hate that I lost the tube though, the wire. Um, yeah, ugh.
Well, it gives you an opportunity to try and fix it through other means. I mean, that's something that's relatively fixable with a little bit of. You mentioned jeweler's wire. That's something that you could use
Yeah.
to make a new cable or a connection there with.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just mad. Um, but yes, this is my guy's goal. I had a lot of fun actually doing the skin on the model, as little skin as there is. Um, like with the face.
Hmm.
But yeah, these are two of my favorite orc models and two of the ones I spent the most time painting. So, I do love how both of these came out. And I think my favorite is the squig. Let's see. These are pretty much the orcs I have on here. Do I have any here? Oh yeah, all the way down. Oh, I'd have to look for my Captain Badrock. I spent a lot of time on. I gotta take pictures for my site. He is way, 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 way down. But Captain Badrock was also very fun. I did him in the same kind of style as these, so we're gonna pull him up. And I just got it back from Fabricators Forge, where I had him on display for them to use as advertisement for me. So I have him again, mostly because he's really good again. Um, because flash kits are good. That's the end of that sentence.
Okay.
They are good. They are really good. Oh, I have this guy as well. I have my um,
Ugh.
knob
I
on
don't
Smash a Squig.
I don't like that model. I don't like that guy because I remember the one time one of the last few times I played you at your place, you charged me with that guy, and you're just like, yeah, take a bunch of mortal wounds.
Yeah, he don't work like that no more. Unfortunately. Yeah, take a whole bunch of mortal wounds. Oh, I killed your unit. Let me charge again and do it again.
Yeah. Um, I love the fact that they called like the orc war bosses on a Squigosaur. Every time I see this model now, like in my head, the like just a stupid word I made. I call him a pachycephalus squig.
Ah, I like that Pachycephalus Squig. Um, yeah, I like this model a lot because I went ahead and I try to do it so that because he's got a lot of ossified bone on his head, obviously.
Hmm.
So I tried to put a little bit more of a bone texture to it, or like a with the
A
white
calcified.
calcified,
Yeah.
make it look more calcified around it.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see that in there. I had a lot of fun with these models, so um, But this is my old picture setup, so it's not as good a pictures. That's Vaughn. Nobody cares about her. Where is he? 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 There we go. There we go in all his glory. Captain Badrock. He's also got the really cool base too. Yeah, you can tell by the side view that he is a fine cast / old metal model that came in like 2 pieces. Actually, I think he was 1 piece. Looks like it very much came out of a mold.
I love the red. I love the red coat.
Oh yeah, his red coat came out great. Again, he's one of my favorite models. I love how he came out. Very much goes with my red and blue. The skin on him looks great. Not to like toot my own horn here, but I think it came one of my best implementations of orc skin is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's also that coat's also a pretty good example of not being afraid to go to like an almost black in terms of your shading. It worked out very well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was going for that. And then I believe, oh no, the other way. I have my one orc war boss model here, who again, here's the squig, yellow, and the rest of him is red and blue. He also came out great. I like him as well.
I've actually painted that model. That's the Assault on Black Reach War Boss, or a variation on him, right?
Yeah, well, this one came out later. It was like that Space Wolf kit that came out in like the end of 7th edition.
You're right. Okay, I thought this was a model you converted. You're right. I forgot there was a separate model that basically used some of the same elements.
Yes. Well, this one uses it's the same pose kind of. It's essentially the same kind of model. They added a squig, a little more detail. I have one of those somewhere that I need to actually fix, but this is essentially the same model. But yes, I know what you're talking about. The Assault on Black Reach is a classic war boss model.
It almost looks like they used the probably the CAD design they had for that model, and they just kind of repurposed it for this one.
I would agree. It's very close to it. Ooh, my shock jump dragster, which is permanently in a box somewhere because these suck now.
I'm not an orc player, but if someone ever made a bumper sticker that said "My other car is a Boomdack a Snazwagon," I'd totally buy that.
Oh, absolutely! In a second. I don't care if I didn't have any money at the time. I would be purchasing that immediately. I think we have one of that war boss in here because I did have one of those war bosses. Some of my Gloomspike gets. I love this squig model. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I think I took a picture of him way back. Sorry for taking up time. Here he is. Yeah, this one I painted when I was like 16.
Back when adding Dead Space Dream bits was all the rage.
Oh yeah.
Early 2000s, man.
I even like green stuff, the ribbing in here on the legs. But yeah, this was like my original war boss that I used for everything. I added a combi Scorcher to it. Like it didn't have the Scorcher on it.
Right.
This is my weird boy I still use. I know it's a weird knob shaman, but I don't care. Also this guy, which is more my favorite one. But yeah, now me working on Gaz's head. But yeah, no, happy ORKTOBER, everybody. Best holiday of the year.
If you have any orc models, or if you have an orc army you'd like us to check out or just show off on stream, be sure to get in touch with us, secondfoundingpa@gmail.com, or find us on the socials. We'd love to hear from everybody, and we would love to take a look at your army. If you just want us to show it off, let us know. Or if you do want us to critique it, offer feedback, anything of that nature, again, definitely more than happy to do such.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of fun doing it. We love um, helping others out with that. All right. You know what? I'm pretty sure we're out of stuff for tonight.
I I do want to give a heads up to anyone who's watching. As we do, I know TJ brought up something similar. He, of course, is on baby watch. And as we do head into fourth quarter, I am a retail store manager. So um, between the months of November and December, my ability to stream and attend the streams and things like that may be very limited. So I apologize in advance if over the course of these next 2 months I am not as readily available. But once December passes, and I don't have to worry about fourth quarter and
Christmas.
holiday sales quotas, I will be back to a much more stable streaming schedule.
Yes. And yes, as I said, baby watch is in full effect. She's at 34 weeks, so we are it could be any day now. After 36 weeks is usually safe, so hoping to at least get to October or out of October. Especially since her maternity leave starts November 1st. um, she's very fortunate that she has.
Oh, you should probably put your request in soon to get your time off for work.
Yes, I got to ask my boss. He is a bit of a stickler about that. He's kind of a jerk. So I will put my notice in triplicate and get that over to him right away.
Make sure you CC your personal email too.
Yes, I will CC my personal email. I will BCC my fiance and all others involved. And yeah. Anyway, but yes, lots of exciting things happening for everybody. But we will endeavor to be here as often as we can. And if Frank cannot show up, oh no, we will have another hobby night with TJ. Not that anybody seemed to mind last week, all two of you, but that's not the point. I had fun, you had fun. I got to work on Votan, and that's what was important. And yes, so hope everybody has another great week. Next week we will be back. Sans Frank, but we may have a special guest to help.
Well, I'm 50-50
on
next week right now. Yeah, so we may have three of us next week. If that's the case.
Yes, if that is the case, yes. I feel like my brother may be wanting to get in if there is a lot of juicy old world previews this weekend, which I'm hoping for. But there is also 40K and Age of Sigmar, I guess. But, yes. So next week we got the preview to go over, and hopefully we get more army submissions if possible. But otherwise, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And I hope everybody has a good week.
You two guys, thank you guys again for watching and hanging out with us. Subscribe, share us. We can really use your help in terms of trying to get the stream going.
Yep.
And again, as we kind of wrap up 2023, moving into 2024, we do have some higher plans and goals for the channel. So, your support does mean a lot. Just sharing the video, talking about us, and letting people know that we're available to do critiques. TJ is a professional commission painter. He does this literally every day of his life. And I am a competition painter, bordering into getting to that masterclass status. But I, do a lot of high-end painting and competition painting, Golden Demon, GT level painting, FLG competitions, the Nova Open, of course. So, we can offer you a pretty solid set. We have a lot of experience and expertise at our disposal to help you out with your painting projects. So if you need help, even if it's a model that's work in progress, you're stuck on something, not sure what to do, or if you just want your most recent work critiqued, we're always available to offer you honest, fair feedback.
Honest, yeah. Always give us a just shoot us a message. You can like any time for the shoot us an email. You can message me anytime. You get you get that. Or if you just want your models painted, you can visit me at TayJayPaints.com or any of my socials and message me through there. I know Space Marines is out. Everyone's excited. Send me more Marines. My eyes are going to bleed from painting Marines, which is fine. And if anybody is looking for something to get me for Christmas, um,
uh, I think you need to work on your e-girl status a bit more before they start buying you plushies and sending you toys.
oh. Or if you want, my birthday is immediately after Christmas, so it could be a birthday gift if you want to call it that. Uh, but anyway, once again, thank you everybody for joining us. We love your support. We love that you're here with us, and we will. Well, I will see you next week. Definitely, Frank is a 50-50, and possibly another guest.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.